the father of the bride, Glenn.
Precious for tires! Precious for tires!
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Glenn, Shauna's dad.
Oh no.
As a father of a band, I've got the pleasure of making the first speech. I'm not a practice speaker, so bear with me. I'll make it as short and painless as possible. So the main speakers, Aaron, Ben, Mike, Gav, and obviously Paul, can do their speech. I'm sure they can't wait to do theirs, like me. On behalf of Shauna's mum and I, Paul's parents, Kath and Mike, we'd like to welcome you today to celebrate Shauna's and Paul's wedding. Also, I'd like the opportunity to welcome two very nice people into the family, Paul's parents, Kath and Mike. Around the room today, we've got grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins, lots of friends, and all the people who just got invited to fill the spare seats. So.
Cheers, Alan and Naomi.
Also, Shauna, I'm sure you never will be looking down on you now smiling. I should be very proud of you. I know many of you have travelled a long way today in difficult weather conditions, and it's a big thank you for all your efforts for getting here. It's really appreciated. I'm sure we'll make it a really good time tonight. It's about this time when Shauna's probably thinking, what's Dad got up his sleeve for talking about me? And to be honest, I've been trying to remember something Shauna's done wrong in her life up to now. And apart from drunken teenage moments, teenage tantrums, she hasn't done a lot wrong, to be honest. Paul, all I can say is, your takeaway pills are always going to be a big part of your outfit. So it's never really been a good cook. She once rang her mum up and she asked what does simmering mean on the instructions. I don't think she's ever really changed, to be honest. Seeing her in a dress today also brought back a bit of a memory. And a nice trail on her dress. It reminded me at a stage in her life when she was younger, she used to be absolutely terrified of flushing the toilet. For some reason, which we haven't fathomed out. And on this particular occasion, she'd been to the toilet, flushed the chain, hurtled down the hole, which she always did, came into the room as though that would happen. She turned around, all her knickers was tucked into her legs, along with all the toilet paper that she'd used was going down the hole. And we was absolutely in hysterics, but I don't think Shauna found it amusing.
Is that still happening, Paul?
It probably does, because she's still terrified. What I can say about Shauna, from seeing her being born and watched her grow up to become a caring woman and a fantastic, loving mother to my beautiful granddaughter, Olivia. And as you all agree, I think you all agree with me, she looks absolutely beautiful today. When Shauna met Paul, as you know, all fathers are a bit representative.
Exactly.
I looked at him and thought, this ain't gonna last. He hasn't realised he's gay yet. Looking at his Facebook page to this day, I'm still very confused. The only worry I had today was walking Shauna down the aisle to give her away, and I kept looking to the right. I thought, how are all his best men there? Because I expected him to be at the window going, Paul, please don't. Joking aside, all I can ever hope for as a father is that Paul is a loving husband to Shona and a caring and loving father to Olivia and any more children that they may have in the future. It's been 8 years since they got together, and over that time, Paul's shown all these qualities.
When you smile and say that.
Put on there, this is not a lie. You know, and I'm glad to welcome you, Paul, into the family as a son-in-law.
Oh.
I think it's traditional at this moment to give the couple a bit of advice on relationships. If you don't know me, people who know me anyway, I'm not going to do that. All I can say is be honest and true to each other. Paul, when you're wrong, say sorry. When you're right, don't say anything. And 3 little words that can resolve a lot of problems is yes, bye. Shona, you can say anything, do anything, as long as it doesn't clash with the football. Just before I hand over to the star speakers, Aaron, Ben, Mike, Gav, and Paul. On behalf of everyone here, I'd like to wish you both success and happiness in the future, and wherever it may take you.
Well, I'm glad.
I'd just like to propose a toast now. Bride and groom, Shona and Paul.
Sure.
Shona and Paul.
Well, I'm glad.
Ladies and gentlemen, the groom himself, Mr. Paul Lavin.
Hello.
Hello.
This might look very modern and stuff, but it's not. I just forgot to print it out. Right. I was going to welcome with a bit of a crack, but I think Glenn's already taken the shine off it. I was going to say, I can't imagine, I bet many of you thought this day would never happen. In fact, can I actually get a quick show of hands as to who thinks this is an elaborate cover-up? Stu, your hands shot up there. So anyway, if you've all got your glasses topped up, I don't need to say that. So I want to do a quick thank yous and things, because there's been a lot of people that have been helping out for us today. So first and foremost, I want to thank everybody who's made it up here. I know it's been an absolute frigging nightmare, very difficult for everyone. I was hoping a few of you wouldn't get through the snow, but whatever. So yeah, so me and Shona, we can't thank everybody enough for making this day what it's been for us. We've got everybody that we could possibly want here to be here. We even had someone piping up from Australia, which has been amazing. So yeah, so can I just raise a quick toast to everyone here, everyone that's come from Hampshire through to Scotland, from yeah, just thank you all.
Chin to me.
So,
Chin.
So next we'd like to thank both of our mums, Jade and my big sister Emma, not just for helping, doing what you do, but just for everything you do for us in general. You're freaking out. And we've got little gifts for you to say thank you for what you've done. So this is for you. Mother. next up, I know they've all gone now, but I definitely need to thank the staff here at Raven Hall. They've done a tremendous job. I know most of them can't really speak English, but I think they've done a I especially want to thank Edward, the balding guy that's been wandering around. He's done absolutely everything for us. He's been like the biggest help ever. And Gemma, who's not here as well, just because she did the easiest job in the world of selling us this place. Like Shauna saw the view, I saw 1664 on tap. We also like to thank Joni, who's Rosie's big sister, for knocking out that cake. It's absolutely stunning. And also my grandma and granddad, who regrettably couldn't be here tonight, they helped pay for the cake, and like it's awesome. And you all get to feast on it later. We have Dan and Tom, these two that have been annoying everyone all day and making you all cold. To say thank you for, like, these guys have been cracking. So yeah. And also Naomi, who's done all the girls' hair and makeup this morning. She's done a stand-up job. So I was just going to say the bridesmaids look absolutely amazing. It's my little sister Becky, Sean's little sister Jade, and obviously our daughter Olivia. Where was I? So I was going to say that, like, which one? Sherry, sorry. They're in my line of sight, I'm so sorry. I have got it written down as well, I'm just not sticking to it. Yeah, so I was going to say that they all look absolutely beautiful and how well they scrub up, but then I did feel a bit awkward saying how well Shauna's sister scrubbed up, how well my sister scrubbed up, and how well my daughter scrubbed up. So actually, Sherry, you just look. And obviously Olivia for doing her best to carry the rings to us this morning. So we have a few gifts for the bridesmaids, and while I'm handing them out, if you could all raise your glasses and just say thank you again to the bridesmaids.
Still doing it.
Right, so I've got to say a couple of things about me and the new one. I wanted to tell a little story that kind of sums up me and Shauna to an absolute T. Basically, we've been engaged for about 5.5 years now, which I'm sure the guys sat on that table have figured out. There's two versions of how me and Shauna got engaged. I'll start with the short, or the one I generally tell to strangers. So basically, I was working away in Manchester, and I was supposed to be leaving at about 5 o'clock on a Friday night to come home, but me being the true romantic that I am, got the day off work, set off home back to Hull, went to the jewellers, picked up a ring, went to a key cutting place in town and engraved "Will you marry me" onto a little heart-shaped tag. And then my sister Emma picked me up and drove me about half an hour away to pick up our puppy, our Dalmatian Nala. So we drive home. The plan is we drive home. Whilst we're driving, I put the engagement ring on the tag, put the tag on the dog, give Shauna our lovely little puppy, and we live happily ever after. But the full story on the other end, everything's the same until we get to the dog. Like I said, it's about half hour's drive away. And it turns out the dog gets pretty severely car sick. Now I'm wearing my favourite and most expensive suit, dressed to impress, and we're in my sister's car, which obviously is her car, not mine. And this ain't no ordinary car sickness. Like this, the dog's got it coming out of every single orifice, all in one go. And there was dribble, vomit, pee, diarrhea, simultaneous. And I'm doing my best to not get it all over her car. So get home after a bit of it, like literally didn't stop all the way. Disgusting. So I get home absolutely fuming, bang on the door. Shauna opens up and starts having a go at me, saying, "What are you doing? I'm supposed to be at work." so I literally had a dog covered in vomit, and I was just like, "Here." And I went upstairs and got a shower, fully dressed. And while she was downstairs, I shouted down to her, "Have you seen the collar? Like the romantic?" And she shouted, "No, why? It's got sick on it." So I followed with, "Just have a look," and after a minute she shouted back up, "How did you pay for that?" I'm truly lucky at mine. But like I said, it does kind of sum me and Shauna up. She knows how much I love her, and I'm pretty sure she loves me back. And occasionally we do nice sentimental romantic stuff, but generally it ends up as a nice Jed tray that's surrounded by vomit. But we're going to try and avoid that today. So finally, before I hand you off, I need to explain what the crack is, kind of, with having 4 best men. It's not something that's usually done. And some might say it's because he's got 4 best mates, and others might say it's because he's got 4 crappy mates. And none of them really stand out. And to be honest, in about 15 minutes time, I don't think I'm ever going to want to talk to him again. But before I do that, actually I've missed a bit. Sorry. Where am I? Oh, yeah, I need to give my gifts to these guys. Sorry about this, I'm really bad. Yeah, basically. Actually, grab them when you come up. You'll look into the balls. Right, okay, so finally, I'm sorry about this. So, before I hand you off, there's one last person that me and Shauna want to thank. It's my dad. Me and Shauna have so much to thank him for. And I know when me and Shauna first met, like Glenn said, it was probably a bit apprehensive as well. And it was a touch rocky. But since then, he's been an absolute inspiration to me, an example to show why it's never too late to start again. He gave me the confidence to go to university, to do what I'm doing to change my family's lives for the better. He's also become as good a granddad as you could ever expect to have, and is always there when we need him. So for everything you've done for me, and now my family, I couldn't be prouder to ask our guests to raise their glasses and say cheers one more time.
Cheers.
Orange County, innit?
There we go, there we go.
I think first of all, I've just got to say, whatever you're expecting from us, it probably isn't going to be quite as profound and moving as the words from Glenn and Paul. Maybe not a practice speaker, Glenn, but beautiful words. Yeah, so hello to everybody. I'm Gavin, one of Paul's best men, one of the 4. It is a pleasure to be stood here. I'm not actually feeling it right now, but it is a pleasure to be speaking to you all, people from all over the country who've come to share these days, this day with Paul and Shauna. Yeah, so the big day, Paul's big day. Been meticulously planned for a long time, including you know, the lovely view, the hilltop, and even the snow. I think you landed at one point. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well done for that. Yeah, so it's been a great day so far. Bridesmaids, absolutely radiant. Shauna looking lovely today.
Not in front of me.
Yeah, I think that's been said and will be said again and again. 3 months.
I think we can skip over it now.
Yeah, so 4 best men. Paul, I think, was going to explain why he had 4 best men. I don't know if you didn't get there at the end, Paul. I don't know. I was a little bit unsure, to be honest, why there were 4 of us. I think at first I thought you were just a bit indecisive, couldn't quite decide who to pick, because we are all so great. Yeah. Then again, I didn't know if you just sort of wanted a little bit of everything. A bit of a motto in life for you, maybe, Paul. Yeah. But then I decided maybe it is just because we are quite a good, close group of friends, and you know, to have us all stood up here, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you know, sort of reflects the group that we are in life. Quite a tight group, and that sort of got me thinking. Really, you know, we all sort of represent little different parts of our group of friends. We sort of got me, who's the global one, who gets told that he should probably go first. He goes, yeah, it's a good idea, I'll do that. And then you've got Aaron, Camp Colin, the word of caution. Then you've got Ben. Ben's the one who stops Aaron and Paul from fighting. Mediator. And then I'll just watch, yeah.
Failed several times.
And then you've got Mike, the one who doesn't quite know where the line is. Which you'll see later. And then we've got Paul, obviously, and then that got sort of me thinking about what Paul is in this group. A few things went through my mind. Some of them already said, some of them will be said again and again. And I came up with a few things that kind of encapsulate Paul. The first thing I thought was he's probably the most fearless of the group. He's quite an adventurous kind of guy. You know, we made a bit of a habit now of going up to Dolby Forest on a yearly basis when we go bike riding up there. We went up on here, it was actually just Mike and Paul and I, and we're looking at these, you know, series of jumps at Dolby Forest. Mike and I have been a bit cautious, you know, we'll do something, we'll make it look quite good. Paul picks the biggest jump out, obviously. That's the one he's going to do. About 16 foot, 18 foot, 20 foot, 24 foot. It kind of got more and more every time we told the story. 4 foot. But yeah, so, you know, he beats it out, and he goes for it, and in Paul vein, it's a great adventure that doesn't quite turn out the way he wants it to. So he goes down, Mike and I watching, goes over this jump, disappears, doesn't come back out. Yeah, so being the foolish one of us, he's decided to break his fall with his face. Well, yeah, that's just one of the things that Paul is, I think. The other thing Paul is the debater amongst the group. He's impossible to win an argument. He's impossible to win an argument against because he's always got a statistic to back up his argument. The only thing about his statistics is that 120 people think that 67% of them are actually made.
25% of this group's an answer.
Yeah, wait till you make your mind up on that one. But I think probably the thing that I ended up thinking that Paul really is, and this echoes his own words, he's the most, to me, I think he's the most determined one of the bunch. You know, a few years ago when Olivia came along to Paul's life, I remember having a conversation with him when he decided that he was going to go back to uni, but not back to uni, that's a bit awesome, but he was going to go to uni. That might have been a better one. Yeah, but anyway, and we were, you know, talking about the reason for this, and he just sort of said, quite frankly, I want to change our lot. I want to do something better for us. And I think since then, sort of seen him go through uni, you know, be engaged to Shauna, you know, plan this wedding, plan this day, and get everyone here. And then obviously later on planning to move to Australia with the family. And I truly do think that being the man you are, you will go on and do that.
Cheers, pal.
No worries. So, I'm not supposed to be toasting, but the last thing I want to do is just ask everyone to raise their glasses to Paul and Shauna. And just to wish them all the best today and in the future.
All the best.
All the best.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents. I'd like to start by echoing Glenn's comments and thanking you all for travelling and being here today. I know it must have been a lot to Paul and Shauna. I first met Paul in year 8 at school and we quickly became friends. I'm not entirely sure why. Anyway, we've shared some great times together over the last 14 years. When we were younger, we shared a few other things together as well, but I've been banned from talking about that. If anyone wants to buy me a drink at the bar, I'll be happy to reveal all.
You're making it sound like some sort of like...
Stop it!
Anyway, moving on. Not saying maybe I'll have to clarify a little bit. When Paul and I were 16, Paul's dad, also called Mike, took us on holiday to Tenerife. Why anyone in the right man would want to take 2 16-year-old lads on holiday beyond me?
Jimmy Savile.
What night in particular stands out? Paul and I have been out on the grass all night. I had a skin full of ale and Paul must have had maybe 2 pounds. We got a taxi back to the hotel and Paul decided to be sick all over it.
Oh.
So after apologising profusely on his behalf to the driver, because Paul was incapable of speaking, we decided, we had to crawl back up to the apartment, and I mean literally crawl, whilst being sick in the floor. Anyway, we got in to find Mike waiting up for us. Needless to say, he was less than impressed. And even more so when Paul started spitting in his face. Anyway, he managed to earn a well-deserved slap from his own man. The fun didn't end there, because the next day we were due to go to the aqua park, and on the coach he decided to sit there as well. So. Anyway, the moral of the story is that Paul's a massive lightweight when he comes to he actually got any better as he got older. I can remember when you were 18 finding you asleep in the middle of the road outside Position, which for those who don't know is a nightclub in Hull. I managed to get him home and through the front door, but I couldn't get him up from the kitchen floor, and again we had to go wake Mike up. Do you remember that one? Anyway, his reaction was absolutely brilliant. He simply grabbed Paul's duvet, threw it on top of him and just left him to it. For those of you who know Paul well, you've probably noticed that he's an incredibly picky eater.
Oh, shit.
Is it the 4th level or 5th level?
No, it's better always. I've expanded.
Anyway, I think he lives on turkey dinosaurs and has This is not a diet I'd recommend to anyone though. Paul's one of the only people I know who's managed to develop cellulite on his stomach. Ending the nickname Cellulite Sally. Other nicknames include Princess Paul, and for those of you on the stag do who have seen any photos, you'll know why. Anyway, it's probably time I said something nice. So Paul's been a great friend over the years. I think he knows how lucky he is to have found Shauna, a woman who can absolutely tolerate him. I'd just like to say how amazing Shauna looks today. I'm sure you all agree. In your future, and I can honestly say that I'll miss you both a lot when you're gone. I think you're a great couple, you've got a beautiful daughter, and I wish you a very happy life together. And that concludes my speech. I'd now like to hand you over to best man number 3, aka
It is
although there's 4 of us, it is an honour and a privilege to be asked to be some studier behind him and slagging him off. So I've known Paul for about 20 years now, and in all honesty, he hasn't really changed that much. He's still a child at heart. But the majority of the time I've known Paul is been in some form of education. whether that's a good thing or he's just trying to avoid a real day's work. But Paul's someone he's someone who you can rely on to help you out, as long as it's messy or destructive. When I was renovating my house, and Paul was always there, trying to help, but generally just making things worse. We took a wall down in my back garden, and we let him have one go on the hammer. He managed to send a breeze block through the middle of my deck. It's just ridiculous. He's got an unbelievable talent for taking an everyday situation and making it life or death. We went to X-Gate, and Paul, being Paul, said, I've done this before, I can go on the big slope. In one trip down the slope, he nearly decapitated a small child and dislocated a steward's shoulder, which for some reason didn't get There's a lot of stories we could tell you about Paul, but with there being family and children here, we originally got a text message apparently off Shauna saying that we wasn't allowed to say it. But I asked Shauna about it yesterday. She said she hadn't sent such a message. So there's one story that's it's a little bit embarrassing for Shauna, but it's more embarrassing for Paul. Shauna was in the shower. This was on the nice and romantic to jump into the shower with her and fart. As he did it, he put his leg on the bath and shat on his foot. He is by far and away the clumsiest person I've ever met. Like, how would you describe him? What word was it? Adventurous?
Yeah, that was the way I put it.
I'd have probably gone more idiotic. He likes to try, like with a ramp. It wasn't that he couldn't do it, he'd done it once, but a 10-year-old did it better. So he went again. He's got no boundaries, he's just a moron. I met Shauna a few years before you met her. But I'm not here to embarrass Shauna. But in all honesty, Paul is a good friend, and together they make a beautiful couple and family. So for me, that's my speech done.
We've gone nearly through a 16 gig card talking. I think a film's only 1 gig.
Best man number 4.
Firstly, I'd like to say hi to everyone. I'm Aaron, and I'd like to say how beautiful bride Shauna looks and the bridesmaids again. It's been said about 6 times now, so apologies for that. It may look like I'm Paul's 4th best man, but he's assured me if I nail this, I'm odds on best man for the next time round. I think standing up here, I've been wasting an opportunity if I didn't tell you about a holiday that me and Paul went on when we was younger. We went to a beautiful island called Tenerife again. It's a lovely place. A lot of things happen, but I am going to leave it there. Read into that as you want. Same again, I'll do anything for a beer. Well, hang on, I'll tell you anything for a beer. After that, I've known Paul a long time now, and as everybody in the room knows Paul, once you get past the first impression, he's actually alright.
Glenn can be a testimony.
Paul's got a thing with first impressions. For example, I can assure you the first time he went on a date with Shauna, he probably knocked out as many press-ups as physically possible.
It's all about the truth.
Luckily for him, Shauna bought it, which I'm still astounded by today. But seriously, he's a top lad who's always up for a laugh, as these three can say as well. And on top of that, he's a true family man, and that's shown at the minute because he's doing uni, he's working all hours God sends, and then he's finishing uni and going to Matalan, and he's knocking out 60-hour weeks just so he can have a better life in Australia, which is the family dream. So I hope for Paul and Shauna and their family that they can get to where they want to go, and he's working really hard to do so, so hopefully they get there. I won't stand here all day, bored of speeches now, and everyone wants to get their top of the drink and what have you. Just got one last little bit of advice for Paul, and that's to remember these three special words. Shauna, you're right. Those words will get you far. I'd like everyone to stand one last time to toast the lovely bride and groom, and hope them all the best in the future.
Paul and Shauna.
Paul and Shauna.
Right.